I'm back again. I'm still eating tofu. What? Okay. I want to talk about another a factor of another. Well, I haven't really talked about anybody in 19th century philosophy, but this is an awesome person in 19th century philosophy that I think is important, and he's somebody that I want to introduce to you through this. Because what? I don't know if you've heard of a guy named Arthur Schopenhauer, German philosopher. He wrote a lot of books, including On the Basis of Morality. He wrote Will Is an Idea in 3 volumes, and he wrote Will Is World and Representation on the Will of Nature, Parerga and Paralipomena, and other stuff, and up on the fourfold roots and the principle of sufficient reason. And what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about he had a chapter 19 in The World as Well an Idea in his whole 3-volume work. It was called The Primacy of the Will in Self-Consciousness. This is another yet another play out of the consciousness. There's many of these that go on in modern and 19th century philosophy, so this is just going to be another one. But I want to do a lot of things with Schopenhauer here, because I want to do on his book On the Basis of Morality, because he has a thing in there that discusses Kant, which is important. I might do that on the other Kantian channel, though I don't know about that. But what I want to do here is I want to discuss the will and the intellect, and I want to discuss the primacy of the will. First of all, the will is the aimless, lawless, non-rational inner nature of people, and the foundation of all human nature and of the whole world. The will is metaphysical. It is, if you're hylomorphically speaking, you could say that this is the form, and this is metaphysical for one thing, just because this is not particular to one organism. The will is common between all organisms, regardless of their nous. You could say that before I introduce the term intellect. And intellect is another thing that is important in this, because intellect is, he calls the intellect the brain. He calls the intellect is your mind. The intellect, each organism has a specific intellect, specific in level and specific in things that it entails. And the intellect is simply a posteriori part of the human. And hylomorphically speaking, the intellect is matter. It is physical. It is mostly what you can think of as the mind. And one thing is that the will, it is called a will by Schopenhauer because of the fact how the will is ingrained in every being, because in every animal being, each brute, as he says it, each animal being has basically the same wills, which include being, existence, propagation, sustenance, things like that. Each being has those wills. And throughout this chapter 19, the primacy of the will and self-consciousness, what he does is he discusses and proves many things about why the will is primary to the intellect. The intellect is derived from the will. The will is not derived from the intellect. So I'm gonna stop this video, because I think this is a good definition of what the will and intellect is in the book, And I'm going to come back in the next video. I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go through quickly each one of those proofs of why the will is primary.